Another system that's really involved in that runs very similarly to your nervous system is the endocrine system. The endocrine system is involved with hormones and glands. Hormones are chemical messengers which travel through our bloodstream, and they affect other tissues, including the brain. Things like hormones influence things like our interest in sex, in food, in aggressive behavior, and things like that. Some are chemically identical to neurotransmitters. They play an extremely important role then in a biological basis for behavior. Endocrine messages travel via the bloodstream more slowly, though, than neural messages. And so that's interesting because the effect of an endocrine message may linger, which is why after, say, you've had a fight with one of your friends or your parents, the fight itself is over, but you still feel keyed up. It's because the effects of the messages sent via your endocrine system are still in your bloodstream, are still lingering. So it's pretty fascinating. Some important glands, the adrenal glands, epinephrine and norepinephrine, which is basically adrenaline and noradrenaline, govern your fight or flight response, so they're really important. The pituitary gland is actually a pea-sized gland located in the core of the brain, where it is controlled by an adjacent brain area, the hypothalamus, which we'll be talking about in our next section. The pituitary gland is actually the master gland because it basically has a big effect on all the other glands in your body. There is an internal feedback system that is involving these glands. The feedback system is that the brain sends messages to the pituitary gland that then sends messages to other glands, which release hormones, which then affect the brain. So it does kind of have this nice circular effect. Another thing that's interesting is that the nervous system directs endocrine secretions, the hormones coming from these glands, which then come back and affect the nervous system. So that's kind of fascinating. So your nervous system might say, oh my gosh, I'm in danger, I'm in danger. And eventually that's going to get to your adrenal glands, which are going to release things like epinephrine, which are then going to help trigger the fight or flight response, which then stimulate your nervous system. So it's this continual cycle that continues to happen in your body. So those are just some of the things that affect biological basis for behavior. The nervous system and the endocrine system play an extremely important role. The other important role, of course, is our brain, which we'll be studying in our next section. This concludes the information on the nervous system and the endocrine system.